This will be a 10-minute floor voice. After a few moments, I did. Dave came over and spoke to me after I straightened up. Okay, from the time he made contact with your leg until the time you stood up, how long was that? Probably guessing 5 seconds. Okay, and when he made contact, did he then put the vehicle in park or did he move it forward? I think the car moved forward a few inches and completely stopped, and then he got out. Okay, so after he had made contact with your leg, he put it in drive. And how far forward do you think it moved? 6, 8 inches. Okay. And at that time, well, when it made contact, did the vacuum tip over, move? Yes, the vacuum moved over at an angle a bit, and after the pressure was relieved on the vacuum, it slid out, okay, or was bumped out a little bit, okay, and then David moves the car 6 to 8 inches about, correct? Correct. You're standing there and you stand up straight and he gets out of the car. Yes. Okay. And then what happens? And then he walked over and in the same manner stood over me. He's taller than I am. Sarcastically said, "Oh, I didn't see you there. I didn't know you were there." And then it was definitely with sarcasm. That's speaking to counsel. I met you on our motion to strike, I believe. That's right. Yeah. And how far away is he at this point as he's telling you, "Oh, I didn't see you there. I didn't know you were there." 12, 18 inches. So about a foot. He walked over to me, okay, and got real close to me, okay. And what did you say when he said that? I said nothing. I was shocked and I was scared too. I was then frightened. I was frightened of him, okay. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I was frightened of him. And did he say anything else? No. Did he turn around and walk away? Yes, he walked away. I don't know how far. You don't know where he walked to? No, no, I don't know. Okay, and after he walked, how long did he stand a foot away from you? Just long enough to say that. Okay, and then he turned around and walked away. Yes, okay. And at this point, you continue hooking the vacuum up to the, oh no, I didn't continue the work at that point. I thought that it would be prudent to just leave, just get away from the situation. Okay, so what did you do? So I turned and walked very slowly and very purposefully because I was embarrassed and I didn't really know the whole situation. I didn't know if he would come after me again or what would happen. And I walked very slowly over to the AMCO center side of the center, and the customer looked very concerned. So he walked over to me and he was upset. He said, "This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. I don't know what happened." Is that his customer? Yes, his customer. Okay. When the vehicle made contact with you, did you feel any pain? Very, very slight pain, a lot of pressure. I was shocked. Okay. And as you're walking back to your AMCO garage, are you feeling any pain as you're walking? I don't think so. I was just scared. I felt the emotion of being embarrassed as well. Why? I don't know. Okay. And then you are standing up in your AMCO garage as this customer approaches you. No, it was just when I started to walk away from the car, he approached me and asked, "Are you okay? Are you okay? This guy's crazy. I don't know what happened. This guy's crazy." He said it a couple of times, and I comforted him. "It's okay. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to get away." And a couple of the mechanics in his shop were looking at me, and I just kind of, trying to be pleasant, show them that I'll be okay. And I wanted no confrontations between his employees and business and mine. Okay. So I walked and went right to mine. Okay. Can you describe this customer for me? That would be difficult. He was a little shorter than I am, a couple of inches shorter. I don't know how tall you are. So he was wearing, let's say 5'6", wearing a t-shirt, had brown hair. I think he was Hispanic, had a slight accent. He was dressed casually. I don't remember many details about him. Okay, and he says, "Are you okay? Are you okay? This guy's crazy." And how do you respond to that? And he said, my response was, "It's okay, don't worry." And I just left. Okay. And when you say you left, where did you go? I walked into my AMCO office sat down at my desk, and I sat down because my leg ached a bit and I wanted to just review the situation. Okay, how many employees do you think were at High Tech that morning? I don't know. Well, there was obviously David, correct, correct. And shall I guess? No, I'd like, okay, an estimate. My estimate would be 4 people because that is the usual number of employees there. Okay, would that be 4 people including David? No. Okay, so it's usually 2. David had himself and then like 4 employees, 2 body shop and 1 or 2 mechanics. How many of these individuals do you recall seeing at the time of the incident? Just 1. And is that the one that was staring at you as you walked back into the office? Yes. Okay. And how many people were on shift for AMCO that morning? 2, 4, plus myself. Okay. And what was the names of those employees? Benny Castaneda, Jesus Rodriguez, I think Rick Park, Mandy Delgado, and me. Okay, now, was there a reason that you were cleaning out this parts washer as opposed to one of the employees? Oh, that was always my job. It was a fairly expensive piece of equipment, and nobody else was willing to do it. It's sort of a detailed job, and it was my investment, and I was the one to do that, to keep everybody else working on the technical things. Okay, and as you went out there to start this project, what is Ben doing, if you remember? Ben is the removal and the R&R man. Remove and replace transmissions. Okay, were there cars in the shop that morning? Yes, the shop was full. Okay, how many bays do you have? 6. Were all 6 bays taken? I think so. Okay, do you know if there were other cars that you had parked on the side there in the lot waiting to be serviced? There are always other cars there. Okay, and I show you picture 2A. Is there any designation of spots, like, let's say, for Ben, who is the removal and replacement, where would he be working? He would be working underneath the car that was raised on a lift, okay? Or doesn't matter which bay, correct? No, we do not have assignments per bay. Okay, do you know what bay he was under that day? No. Okay, what about Jesus? Do you know where he was or what he does? Jesus was the diagnostic technician and R&R man. He did both. Okay, and do you know where he was working at the time? No, I don't. Okay, what about Rick Park? Rick Park was the builder, and he would have been in the back room. Okay, so I think it was Rick Park. Rick Park had just started with us, I think. And when you say rebuilder, I'm sorry, back room is the rebuilding room. It's a separate room in the back unto itself. Okay, beyond the brick wall that's shown in 2A, yes. It's to the left of the wall, separated from the general work area. Okay, and do you know where he was at the time of the incident? The rebuilder is always in the back, in the rebuilding room. He stays by himself where it's quiet and clean. Okay, and what about Mandy Delgado? What does he do? He's the center manager. And does he just roam bay to bay? His job is to stay in the enclosed office as much as possible. Where's the enclosed office? In the picture, it's on the right side of the picture. You'll see a brick wall and then drywall perpendicular to that. That's the office. So behind this blue brick wall, yes. Okay. Now, and where's your office? My office was in there as well. Okay. Would you have to cross through where Mandy was sitting to go where? To go to your office? Yes, yes. There's a doorway. It's difficult to see in the picture, but there's a doorway and the drywall in the back and one in the front. They're 4 feet from each other. Okay. They both lead into the same place. Okay. Well, as you're walking into your office, is Mandy sitting there? Yes, he was sitting at his desk. Okay, and did you say anything to Mandy? Yes, he first looked at me and asked, "What's wrong?" And I stood for a moment and then sat in the chair and I said nothing. And he quizzed me again. "What's wrong? I can tell by the look on your face." And I said, "Well, David just came at me and hit me with a car." Okay, did you use the term David? Yes. Okay, that's his name. I'm sorry. I know that, but what I'm trying to get at, and this is speculation on your part, but does Mandy and the other co-workers know who David is if you refer to him by name? Oh, yes, yes. Okay. And so after you told him that David had come at you and hit you with the car, what did Mandy say? He was shocked and he said, well, he said something like, let's go get him. Let's go talk to him. He was upset and agitated. He felt protective of me, and I spent several minutes convincing him to leave him alone and stay where he was. I wanted no confrontations. Okay, and you're walking into your office before you see Mandy. Did you see Ben? I did see Ben working. Do you know if Ben saw the accident? I don't know. I didn't discuss it with him. I don't know. Do you know if Juan saw the accident? I think Juan was out on a test drive. Okay. And Paul Park was in the rear room. Paul certainly would not have seen it. Okay. So Ben might have seen it, possibly. Well, have you ever discussed this incident with Ben? Only when the fellows had asked me what had happened. I purposely didn't discuss it with anybody. Okay, well, so have you ever had a conversation with Ben regarding this accident? Yeah, I had a discussion with him, with all of them. I told them all not to confront David. I had that conversation a couple of times, but I told them, don't confront David. Everything is okay, just keep working. Well, when did you have this conversation with them? A couple of days later. Well, what brought on the conversation? Well, I had left work for that day and the police came and everybody wanted to know what happened. And I told everybody, just